Here we go. Okay. Look at that, y'all. All right. Me. This. This. All right. Trying to fix the camera, y'all. Bear with me. All right. Here we go. Finally, got it all figured out. So, do that. Let me do this. Whew, y'all. This is a process, let me tell you. I am so sorry. And it was something really simple. That's all it was. Something really stupid and simple. Let me send out some links so everybody can find us. Then we'll get started. Okay. Copy. Here we go. Put it in the chat. Right. Chat. Woo, y'all. Bear with me. I'm sorry. I apologize. All right. All that is done. I'm closing that. Now, close that. Now I can see here. Ugh. When you come in, you pin this. Very good. You didn't miss it, Karen. You did not miss it. Hi, Karen. All right. Lord have mercy. We're just getting started because once again, I had some technical difficulties. But we're going to get started now. Let me move some of the stuff back. I will pull into view when I need it. All right. I apologize. Once again, technical issues, but we're getting there. I learned how to correct it a lot faster this time. All right. So today we are going to, well, first of all, let's do this. I asked y'all to vote between painting silicone molds with mica or doing the ice. You know, overwhelmingly, well, I won't say overwhelmingly, the winner was painting the molds. So that's what we're going to do today. I am definitely going to cover all the tips and tricks to do D&D dice too. That will be coming in a separate video. But today, on Friday with friends, our first one finally working. North Carolina. Hey, from Washington State. The Huskies. I have my own Huskies. So, now, let's talk about painting molds. Before we get started, I want to talk about all the tools that you can use painting molds. Sure, Karen. Well, were you in the tutorial group thread? Is that the one you're asking about? Because a lot of people thought that tutorial group was mine. And it wasn't. I was just a moderator helping out somebody. Okay, that's why. I was banned from that group. So I decided to start my own group. I will make sure that I put the link in this description after I close everything out, so you can click on that and find the new group. But if you search groups for cats with a K, in fact, I'll just put it in here. Search this. There you go. Artists helping artists. There you go. That's my group. Zam, if you remember her, who was also a moderator for that group, she and I started our own group that we have more control over, and we have say about what can be posted, because, I mean, I don't want to talk bad. There's a lot of drama that was going on. The owner of that group wanted to allow advice to the point of it's okay to eat resin and not decline those posts or remove them because they're wrong and bad advice. So I didn't have any say in preventing that. That was kind of my straw to leave and begin my group where Sam and I do have more control over what is shared with you guys. Because I only want to share good things with you. I don't want to share tips or advice that's going to cost you resin in the long run. Resin's very expensive. So our goal here is to look out for you guys. So let's talk about tools real quick. These are the tools mainly that I use when I'm husky here. When I am painting my molds. So I use shadow applicators. Those are great because you can spread it more precisely, I guess is a better word. If you have a big area like this and you want to cover all the chest in one color, I suggest using a makeup brush for that, because you can smooth it faster. And I prefer makeup brushes to paint brushes because these bristles are really, really soft. So they're not going to scratch your silicone. That is your pro tip number one. So we have our eyeshadow applicators, and you can see I just bought a jar of them. Doesn't matter. Cheap ones are fine. I just got these off Amazon. They're like next to nothing. Great to have handy. So if you want to do more detailed work like this turtle, I suggest using an applicator where you can be very precise in where you paint your mica. So those are the tools that I suggest that you have and keep around to put mica in. And you'll find out too, and I found this out the hard way really, I like nail chrome powders because I used to do nails. Nail chrome powders are very vibrant. In fact, this is nail chrome powders that I painted here. And you can see the silver, the gold, the greens. They're very bright. And they stay this bright after you pour your resin. So I really like nail chrome powders. And it doesn't take hardly any at all to cover a lot of space. So you get a lot of pieces for just a little. I'm trying to see if I have one. Oh, I do. They come in like this. This is how I get them. And you see there's not a lot in there. but this lasts a long time because I can just put the tip of my eyeshadow in this color and put it on my mold, and that's all that it takes. I get really good colorant, and I don't have to use a lot of mica. Like if you're mixing it in mica, all right, Debbie, I got you. I'll get it when I get out of here. Or if Sam is here, she can get that to you. But we'll make sure you're taken care of in the new group. I'm glad you found us. So, and y'all can relay this. If you're still in the other group and people have been asking, where is she? Where did she like disappear to? Because Cindy is not going to share what happened. I promise you. She deleted everything, shut me completely off. I can't even see the group anymore. So if anybody's asking, you can refer them to the new group, or you can just tell them to find me on Facebook. That's fine if you don't want to get in the middle. I don't mind either way. So now we talked about tools, and I showed you pro tip number 1 about using makeup brushes. Let's talk about different things you can use to paint or brush your silicone with. So the first thing is mica powder, right? That's the first go-to that most everybody uses are mica powders. And this is from Bianca Pores. I love her powders. This is May Spring, Great Purple. So you can brush your mold. In fact, I'll just use a little. We'll open this up. And I'm gonna tap the excess off because it doesn't take a lot. So let's just say we want to paint or brush. Look at that. See, I can even go in the lid and pick up mica. And so I just want to brush this top part. Ta-da, done. See how easy that was, right? And I hardly used any mica powder. Now, if I was going to pour this piece, I'd use a lot more mica powder to mix it in my resin to get a good solid color than I would if I just barely got some mica and brushed it around the mold. So you can save money that way too. So that's another tip. You can save money. You can save some money. You can save some money by doing that. All right, let's do this purple. This is May Spring. And let's use our eye applicator for this one. And I'm just going to dip the tip in this, okay? So let's just say we brush right here. We just add some purple there. All right, so I want to add some more, and I'm going to get it off my lid. There we go. See that? Didn't hardly take anything to put that on my mold, right? Now, I want to show y'all. So that's a way you can use your micas, and that's how easy it is to brush your molds. I'm going to set this aside since it has purple on it already. I want to move this out of the way, and I want to move this out of the way. Well, before I move this out of the way, you can make your pieces look antique. I wanted this to look old nail. You see the difference in contrast, the silver and black? See that? So it makes it old or worn. You can see up here where the silver is missing and you see more black. All I did to create that effect is go in with a baby wipe and just wipe some little small areas to remove some of the mica. So when I pour my black background, the black is going to shine through better in some of those areas. And it's going to give it that worn or old antique look that you see here. That's another trick for you. Before I move on, you can see using mica, you can do highlight colors. Like I use a lighter green and a darker for the outer leaf patterns. These little details like this will make your piece stand out from others. So if you're at a craft show and you have a piece like this and someone just poured a solid color, you can dress yours up simply by doing some highlight colors with mica, simply putting it on your mold. It doesn't take a lot of effort. It's not really hard. Anybody can do it, right? Like I have a different color for my vine than I do for my leaf. It's outlined in a darker green. So it makes the vine stand out more. So those are little things and little tricks that you can do to make your pieces stand out from others when you go to a craft show, or if you're selling on Etsy or wherever you want to sell. So now let's talk about mica powders and holographic glitters. In fact, I want to put some holographic on here just so y'all can see. This is, what is this? This is gold. And it's a holographic glitter, and I'm using my eye brush, like you would your crease brush. I think y'all tell me I don't do makeup like crazy. Is it a crease brush? Is that what this is? That's short. Y'all correct me in comments, because I don't fuss over makeup like my daughters do. But for this holographic glitter, I want you to see the difference. Do you see how that changes colors when it's moved around and tilted? So these are just, oh no, it's not. Yes, it is. Y'all, it's Friday. I don't know what I'm doing. It's Friday. So this is a holographic glitter, and it's shining, and it's going to change colors because it is no, I lied. Okay, remember I said it was Friday? Is it 5 o'clock where you're at? Well, I could probably use a drink about now. This is Chameleon Powder, and I'll show you the difference. Wow. This is gold. There's the difference. This is Chameleon Powder. This is the holographic glitter. See the sparkle difference? This one changes colors. This one sparkles. So let's put some holographic glitter on. Now you can see the difference. Putting it on his belly here. And we'll just highlight these. I'm just making a Mod Podge with this to show you guys. See that? The difference? This is Chameleon Powder. This is the holographic glitter. And it doesn't take much glitter. And you see how much area got covered, right? And it's going to pick right up when you pour your resin and take it out of the mold. It's going to transfer right to your resin. So those are two different, you can see the contrast there. The chameleon and the holographic glitter. Now I want to put him aside because I want to show you what I do. I like to paint my molds. And I don't mean with acrylic paint or oil paint. You can paint with mica powders. And I'll show you. Y'all have seen, well, I think most of y'all have seen my sunset piece. Have y'all seen that? Let me know in comments if you have. But all I did was take chameleon powders, and I chose the colors I wanted to use that were similar to a sunset. So for this, let's say magenta and plum and chain gold. I really love that color. And I think those are the, oh no. And I used a grape. So these are the four colors that I use to create the sunset look. And you're going to be shocked when I show you how easy this is, y'all. This set from Let's Resin, their Chameleon Powder set, comes with its own little brush, which I love and I use a lot. And I'm constantly pulling husky hair out of it. But this is how easy it is to create a sunset look on your piece. Can you see that? Yeah. So you simply take some of these colors and just make a strip, right? You're just adding a line of that color. That's all you're doing. Okay? So let's put magenta, or this is plum, excuse me. Let's put plum to the side. Let's pull out magenta, We're using magenta now, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to create some lines. And this is how you can create that sunset look. Now we're going to put magenta away. And we're going to use some grape. Grapey grape. Do y'all know that cartoon? You have to be in your 50s if you know that cartoon. So we add some grape. And we're going to draw some lines. And just add it like that. And if it goes over other colors, guess what? No big deal. So let's add our champagne. And champagne, you're going to see, is like an orange color. It's beautiful. So I'm going to add some champagne. I'm going to add it around. Y'all, is it starting to look like a sunset? And you just fill in these colors. That's all you're doing. And you go back and make sure that your sides, that you go up your side of your piece, make sure that's colored too, because this is the base of your heart. This is actually not the base for this one. I grabbed the wrong bottom, but oh well. So here's your heart little mold, right? And you can paint a sunset in here too, the same way, just lines. So it matches. You see this? Is that cool? So all you're doing is doing these lines, and you're going to meld them together, right? You're just going to meld it all together. That's all it takes to make a sunset back. There you go. Does that look like a sunset? Are you shocked that it was that easy? That's all it takes. And you can paint flowers using these. If you, which, y'all, let me tell you, I can't draw. I can't draw stick people very well at all. So being able to do this is great because it really makes it look like you painted the scene onto your piece before you pour your resin. So when you pour your resin and it comes up, this would be the top of your base. Looks like a sunset. And it will match the rest of your piece. In the one that I did, I painted this like a sunset. I did this in gold, like the sun. So I had some gold glitter in here. Real easy to do. Just take some, in fact, I think I used gold glitter glass and just I poured a layer of clear. Let that cure some. I poured a layer of glitter glass. Let that set up for a little while so it grabs to the resin so it's not floating up later. And then I poured another clear coat of resin. And that was it. And you have this golden glitter glass sparkly highlight around your heart. And if you paint your heart the same sunset, then once you paint your bottom, you can pour clear. And if you want to, you can add stickers or use your Cricut and print out names or dates or wedding anniversary, whatever you want to put on there. And then pour a clear coat over it. And you have your ornament to hang. Or if you want to leave a sunset, you can do your sunset like we did the base. So when you turn it over, the front of your ornament will be a sunset just like your base is. And they'll match. So there's lots of different abilities and different options that you can use all these with. Get your favorite Mica powders. Get your favorite Chameleon powders. Get your favorite holographic glitters. And just experiment. Give yourself freedom to just have at it. That's the best way to put it. Trust yourself to just practice and see if this works. If you like it, great. Use it again. If it doesn't work, no big deal, right? So give yourself the room to experiment yourself. What else was I going to cover about this? Oh, another thing that you can do if you have a mold like this that you want to put eyeballs or something in, or you want the nose to be black, you could use UV resin to do that, cure it, then pour your regular resin over, and it will pick up that UV resin. It'll be just fine. So when it comes out, you'll have your little black UV nose. And remember, I told y'all there's pre-colored UV resin, so you don't takes all the guesswork out. You just simply use the pre-colored black. Let's resin just released strictly a black UV bottle and a white UV bottle, because a lot of people use white and black as their backing when doing jewelry or things like that with UV resin. So I'm happy about that. Teakspert has colored resin. They have beautiful pearl white. Colored resins have like a shimmer to them. So that's something to keep in mind too. But you can use that pre-colored resin, fill in the nose, eyes, whatever you want to do. Cure it with your UV light or in direct sunlight, and then come back and pour white resin on top, whatever you want to add. So that is another trick for you guys to do, to detail your work. If you're still here, make sure you go give us a thumbs up, because I can't tell who is here and who is not here. Let's see if I can tell on the other one. Aha, there we go. All right. Now, whatever you want. Okay, so I can see chat too. But make sure, like I said, that you give us a thumbs up, because it helps other beginners and other people who may have questions about how to use mica powder to color or paint in their pieces. So it'll help them find this video faster, because it's still going to be live after we finish our live today. I'm trying to think. I want to make sure that I cover all of my points with you guys. And I don't want to keep you super long because it is Friday. What I will do is, like this piece, I will pour resin on top of it and let it cure. And then I will do a short and show you the end product. And I'll do the same with some little, let's make a purple. Let's use our Mayspring purple amethyst. Oh, these colors are gorgeous. We already have purple. So, wow. All right. Ooh, look at that, y'all. Isn't that pretty? I love these. Gorgeous, gorgeous colors. All right. So I want to paint him. We'll make him purple just for the heck of it. Easter's over. But we can still do bunnies. We can always do bunnies. So I'm just painting him with the eyeshadow applicator. And you see, I'm using the front and the back of this applicator. And look how much coverage I got just from that little bit of powder. Isn't that crazy? Do his little ears. Get some more. We'll do his ears here, like so. See how you can just move around with this eyeshadow if you don't want to do the inside. Say we want the inside of this pink. We can either color it after it's cured, or we can just color the outside of our ears with this purple, like so. I'm telling you, it's Friday for sure. So there we go. So then I just need to pour resin, and we'll be done with that. What else? What else? What else? Those are really the main. Ooh, I messed this up. Those are really the main things I wanted to cover with you guys here. Do you have any questions? Something that you've been curious about or wondering about? Let's get into that now. And it doesn't have to be about painting molds. If you have any other resin questions, fire away. And while I'm sitting here, let me show you. This is my sealant. A lot of people ask, what do you seal your stuff with? This is it. This one is the matte. And I use matte when I'm going to put a piece in my resin. Here is my gloss one. This is if I'm top coating, I'm completely done. I've added some pink acrylic to my little bunny here, and I want to keep it locked in. I just simply spray a layer of that over it. Oh, here's a good example. Little Mr. Seahorse. I got this mold. It was a food mold for, I'm guessing, fondant or paste or whatever, gum paste that they use to decorate with. But he comes out matte, which I love. So if I put alcohol inks or anything on him that I want to lock that color in, I would use my matte spray and just do a couple coats. I let it dry, do another coat, because if you get too close, one, it will gob up and be ugly. So you need to spray from far away, a good distance from him. Excuse me. So that is matte, and that is my matte spray sealant to lock my colors in. Oh, that's the other thing I want to talk about. So I'll use matte if I'm going to insert this in like an ocean scene or a coaster or whatever. If it's going to go down in resin and resin on top of it, I want matte because I don't want two glosses. A glossy, shiny sealant competing with the gloss from the resin. You just get a better picture if it's matte. And then you put the resin on, and the resin really makes your piece pop. So there's another pro tip for that. But what I want to talk about is there is a difference in quality of micas. Have you run into this yourself? It's fun, Karen. It's very addicting, I tell you. Once you start, and everybody else in here will tell you, it's hard to stop, for sure. So the difference in micas, let me tell you. I'll tell you a brief story. It won't be long. When I first started out, I was like, oh my gosh, I need everything. These micas, that's what they're using. Okay, great. I'm going to find some on Amazon. I'm not going to spend a lot of money because I really don't know if I want to do resin or not. Kind of on the fence. So I bought a very cheap set off of Amazon. And let me tell you, quality does matter because the set that I got from Amazon, which is an off-brand, no name, when you start using the colors, they change. They're not anywhere near what you bought and expected to see when you start mixing your resin or putting it in your mold. Completely different colors. So quality really, really matters. And I'll tell you another example. Because micas I love because they don't clump. Sometimes your micas will clump up when you're mixing them into your resin. You'll get these little clumps that stick to the side of your cup. And you work and work and work like you do with pancake batter. I always refer something similar to relate to is pancake batter. If you don't get all the lumps and everything out of your pancake mix, when you put it on the griddle and it starts getting hot, it'll poof and just splatters powder from the pancake mix everywhere, all over your pancake, right? Same thing happens with clumps from mica in your resin. When it's sitting and curing, a bubble comes to the top, and if it's a clump of mica, poof, it pops and it splatters powder all over that's not mixed completely into your resin. It may give a really cool effect, but I guarantee it's probably not what you were going for when you started out. I've had that happen to me too. So here is another trick with mica powders. You can actually make a slurry with mica powders by putting just a little bit of alcohol. And remember, we only use isopropyl alcohol at least 91% or higher. I use 99% because the higher the number, the faster the alcohol evaporates off your piece, and it's less likely that it's going to leave any films on your resin. So you can put a little tiny bit, it doesn't take hardly much at all, into a cup, put your mica powder in there, and mix it around until it's like a slurry or a wet, like a wet paint almost consistency. Then you can add some resin to that and mix it up, and then pour that into with your other resin. And it will mix much easier that way. That's one reason that I love pigment paste, because you don't have that clumping issue at all. Yeah, we were, Zam, just talking about that exactly. And Zam found, or I'm going to put it on her, she's doing an experiment to see if you can put mica and alcohol and paint on your mold with it. And one other thing I want to talk about, sorry, I had to reach around and grab this from my drawers. Metallic powder. And I want to put some in here so you can see. Just, in fact, let's just put it on. Look, y'all, I have bears, I have kitty cats, I have some rabbits, these little bears. They're so fun. I actually love this mold for using the eco resin, because it comes out as a white blank like plaster. You can put it in little bags. I do this for some of my clients for birthday party favors. You just put in some little acrylic pop top or some acrylic markers, and kids can color and draw on them, decorate it however they want to. It makes great party favors for birthday parties. So what I have is metallic powder by Let's Resin, and I want to show you. It's not going to take hardly anything at all. Oh, look, I got way too much. So I'm going to tap it off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush this. Y'all, I got way too much on that brush. But I want you to see. Do you see how solid that is? So here's another pro tip for you. If you're doing coasters, I know I have a coaster mold right here, I guarantee you. That big one, I want a smaller one. Of course, it's not right here when I need it. Well, we'll just do it this way. If you have a coaster, pretend this is a coaster, and you want that golden, you want that metallic accent on the edge of your piece. Instead of using metallic markers, you can use metallic powder and go around this. And look, I'm going to mess up because I want to show you something else. So you can take that powder and go around the edge. Do you see how metallic and chrome looking that is? Gorgeous, right? So you can paint your coasters with that. And now here comes another pro tip that you're going to love. So let me grab my, don't think, handy dandy wipes. Keep them close always at your station. Here, out of my way. So you see, I messed up. I didn't mean to put it in the middle. Look at that. It's gone. That easy. So you can crisp up your lines. Let me do this. Let's set it down. Can you see it? I'm just going to take my nail. Or if you don't want to use your nail and you want to wrap it around a stick, I have a smaller one. Well, let's use this. Look, I just have a stick here. I'm going to wrap it around this top little piece that was on the stick and just go around and clean up my edges. You see how easy that is to do? So now you have a nice, crisp, clean edge, and you don't have to worry about it overlapping. Now, that is a very huge pro tip, because y'all hear me all the time say, you can crisp your edges, you can clean up. If you get mica powder where you don't want it, you can clean it up with a baby wipe. It's that easy, and it really is. So, another, and this is probably the last tip I will give you guys, but it's very important. I usually have paper towels sitting here too, but we use this baby wipe instead. So I brush this mold with powder, right? And it's all great and chromy and I love it, but there's going to be some excess in this mold. So you always want to turn your piece upside down over either a paper towel and just gently tap your mold, right? Maybe blow your mold. Get any excess powder out, because you don't want that floating up in your resin piece and just moving all around the back and stuff like that. It's not cool. I mean, it's not going to hurt it, because actually it's going to be the bottom of your piece, but you know what I'm saying. So make sure all my excess is gone, and you can see on this wipe how sparkly and stuff it is. So we got the excess powder off our pieces, and y'all, that's really it. I mean, it's just up to your imagination. Did you tell me one thing you learned today that you didn't know about painting or brushing your mold with mica? Just give me one comment. Thank you, Karen. Is there one thing you can think of that you learned from this? I hope y'all learned something. I really do, because that is my goal. I want to take anxiety away from doing resin. You can't think of anything? That's all right. If you think of something, you can always come back and drop a comment down real quick. No big deal. I'm happy that you're here. So really and honestly, guys, I'll make sure that all of them are linked in the description. I may have already linked them. I don't remember, to be honest. Like I said, Friday somewhere. Or it's 12 o'clock somewhere on Friday. So that is the gist. How you decorate and can even go to the extent of painting seams on this. Do you know, after this is cured, if I want to cure this, well, on the front, after it's cured and take it out of the mold, if I have some mountain stickers, I can put mountains, I can put some little seagulls for birds, stickers on here to make it look like birds are flying. There's all kind of opportunities to add to that. And you don't have to have a Cricut to do that. I found some clear scrapbook stickers, and you can find them in different themes, different categories. So if you look up clear scrapbook stickers, and actually I got mine from Walmart online, believe it or not, just search that and you'll be able to find a lot of things and maybe spark some ideas of, oh my gosh, I can really add that sticker. and make a scene on top of my resin after I'm done. And that gives you another leg up when you're at a craft show or when you're trying to sell online. It makes your pieces stand out from everybody else's, if that is your goal. So, y'all, we're going to wrap it up on this one. We are done with painting. I will pour these up and let them cure overnight. I'm always, when I use these, this is another pro tip. If you want these colors to stay vibrant and pop, use a black resin when you pour them. And when it comes out, they will really pop off the black. If you want these more pastel colored, use a white resin and they will come out softened and pastel looking. But like I said, it's up to what your vision is and what you're looking for, what you're trying to achieve. That will determine which color resin you go with. And it's not just black or white. You can use any color you want. You can use color if you want. But it's going to mute your color to be as vibrant if you just put it in clear. Just a FYI, so you know that one. But I hope you experiment with this. I hope you learn something from this. I'm so glad that we actually have a successful live. Finally. A little technical issues up front, but I know what happened there, and it's an easy fix going forward. So we're going to do this every Friday. I want us to get together, hang out, learn something new. So if you have ideas for next Friday, what you want to see, leave me a comment or comment in the Facebook group, send me a message, and we'll see if we'll make that. And plus, I'll be putting out votes. You tell me. So be looking for choices and options for next week. But y'all, until next time, make sure you do all the YouTube things, because a lot of people that watch haven't subscribed yet. That means they're missing out when I upload other how-to videos or breakdown videos for new techniques. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, you ding that bell, and until next time, y'all, happy arting. Ta-ta for now.